Can you tell me about receiving a Dear John letter?
Tell us about that Dear John letter that you got when you was overseas.
When did you get your letter?
Oh, that's from me. From my first wife.
Did you get that when you was on the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we was in New Guinea. And I got a letter that she was in the hospital. So I went to the Red Cross to check to see what was, you know, how serious it was, stuff like that. Then they come back and they said, oh, what's the female trouble? I accepted that because it's possible. And over through the years, I finally found out, but most likely, I have a feeling that our marriage license was never registered.
Oh.
And in fact, your marriage license is not registered, you're not married regardless whether you are or not. So, anyhow, she married somebody else.
So that was a shock, I bet.
Yeah. And I took my discharges to the Philippines. I spent a year over there, just down the island, doing odd jobs and things like that. And then had a group of guys come in on a ship, and they liked me. And I was living in a tavern there, and they had them guys on the ship would come to my tavern and drink, you know. And they said, you little bastard, you're going back to Missouri, we got to throw you on the boat. So this ship was there, and they needed a couple of guys on the ship that had disappeared, you know. And I went aboard this ship, slept, had to wait until we went out to sea. Since we started going to sea, then I could sign on the ship as one of the workers, see. So I signed on as a wiper, that is in the engine room, and worked my way back to the States. We went through the Panama Canal on that ship, up the east coast of Brooklyn, and got off at Brooklyn because the union went on strike, and we had to get off the ship. And me and my one buddy was out drinking, and I said, I'm going to call home. So I went in the telephone booth and I called. That was the first time I talked to my mother in 3 years, and talked to her. And I called in the booth. I told him, I said, I'm going back to Missouri for a while. I planned on going back to sea again, see him. But then got my papers all piled up, and I never got them. Served in Merchant Marines, and so I come back to Missouri, and that's what happened. I got married, didn't have any kids. I'm sure proud of that thing. And the beauty part of it is my wife, that lady behind, she'll step over it. The lady right there, her and I went to school together as kids. They moved right next door to the farmhouse born and raised in. And we went to school together, 2nd to 3rd grade in country school. And then they moved away, and I didn't see her anymore until after I got back from overseas. I was out boozing it up, playing golf and stuff like that. And our brother, he says, you're Arthur Frye. And she said, I lived with my middle name when I was all the time before Arthur. And,
You can hold it so show the camera.
I,
Just hold it so you can show the camera. Just hold it up.
anyhow,
Yeah.
he said to me, he said, come out here, I want to meet somebody. And there was her and her sister, and another guy and him. And we had a talk, and I never gave it much thought. Now, from 1 o'clock at night, I went home, went to bed. About 3 or 4 days later, my mother said to me, she said, you got a letter in the mail. And she gave me the letter in the mail, and it was this picture. And she invited me to stop and see her, see. The next time I was in town, I went to see her. 3 months later, we was married.
Oh, she's really pretty.
Yep.
He's the youngest one.
How many kids you ended up having?
We had 3 boys, 2 girls. And she had a daughter before I was married her. And she was married once before too. And they had separated.
And to me.
How long was you married, Dad?
Huh?
How long was you married?
How long?
Mm-hmm.
Like 11 days, been 63 years.
Wow. Yeah, 63 years.